Awesome. Hello, everyone. I'm Martin Herring, a business development manager for Bosch in North America. And I'm happy to be here today among all those great minds of the hydrogen industry and the clean energy enthusiasts to talk about what Bosch is doing in the space of hydrogen, but specifically the industrialization concepts for our PEM electrolyzer stacks, which is the enabler of your hydrogen production strategy. Before we go into some details about Bosch and our technology, I want to draw a picture from the market side, and there were many speakers today already that touched on demand forecasts in the hydrogen ecosystem. So really what we are seeing is hyperscaling demand forecasts towards 2050. We heard about a 5-fold increase just in the US, but also in other continents around the globe, driven by various attributes that hydrogen can bring, from driving decarbonization, for example, strong focus in Europe, to export markets in other parts of the world, but also as a transitional vector, for example, in China, in the MENA region, transitioning from oil and gas industry into clean tech of the future. However, if you're looking at the hydrogen delivery value chain, starting all the way on the component or supply level into manufacturing stacks, building electrolyzer systems to the final deployment plant and hydrogen production, if we look specifically at the PEM landscape today, we see that most players in the market are vertically integrated system providers, meaning they source components, they have their own proprietary cell and stack design, they build their own stacks as a basis for their system and plant solutions. However, there are a lot of players adjacent to this market that can provide industrial scale system integration as well as plant level and project delivery services that have a missing link to those types of companies, as they need access to a reliable supply of stacks as a basis to drive system integration. In the end, we need both of these verticals enabled to really fulfill the hyperscaling demands in the future. So we need vertically integrated players that use their own systems as a means to go to market, and we need independent players that can bring novel, innovative solutions at different scale based upon available competencies. With that being said, let's take a look what we as Bosch are doing in the space to enable those players in the future. So a little bit of a bigger picture about Bosch. Starting on the right side of the slide regarding the usage of hydrogen, Bosch has commercialized low temperature fuel cell technology focusing on the commercial vehicle market, where we offer entire fuel cell power modules as well as individual components of the system to other OEM partners. We also recently announced innovative injection systems for hydrogen engine, supporting our OEM customers that drive decarbonization via hydrogen engine technology. Again, in the European market, we focus on innovative technologies for combined heat and power with high temperature fuel cells, as well as with heating systems for the future in regards to hydrogen-ready boilers. I want to focus today more on the hydrogen production side, where we are industrializing a low temperature electrolyzer stack technology, and we have a couple of flanking offerings with water purification technology that can provide ultra clean water to hydrogen deployments, as well as optical gas spectrometry sensors that can be used for the safe detection of hydrogen quantification. Beyond that, Bosch is a key player in the market with our about 100 billion revenue globally as one of the key suppliers to the mobility industry. We are the leading supplier worldwide. We focus on industrial technology beyond this, supporting the factory and automation of the future. We are a leading supplier of consumer goods, appliances, as well as power tools. And lastly, we have an energy and building technology vertical that focus on the clean buildings of the future, as well as building automation, for example, with heat pump technology. Why am I telling all of this today? Just to draw a larger picture of the capabilities of Bosch and the verticals that we are in. One key aspect that I want to point out is our commitment to CO2 neutrality. We are proud that we achieved carbon neutrality in 2020 for all of our over 400 global locations. We made investments into the space early, and carbon neutrality and decarbonization is really incorporated in our corporate identity. And this is also reflected in the products and solutions and services that we are developing for the future to not only decarbonize ourselves as a company, but also enable our customers and their customers to decarbonize. And therefore, hydrogen is a very strong aspect of our future company growth and strategy. And we are aiming to achieve around 5 billion in revenue by 2030 with hydrogen as a new vertical for the company. With that being said, let's take a closer look at our electrolyzer stack product. We are focusing on a capacity rating of about 1.25 megawatts, which results in about 23 kilograms per hour or about half a ton per day in output at maximum capacity at a pressure level of between 30 and 40 bars. Peak efficiency is around 50 kilowatt hour per kilogram, and the focus for Bosch again is stepping into this market with our global presence in high volume manufacturing with a standardized stack design and product. We are leveraging our over 130-year experience in high quality production and reliability to bring a product following our established automotive standards. Ultimately, we are doing all of that to bring a product to market that enables our customer to lower overall life cycle cost, meaning low level guys cost of hydrogen based upon deployments with our product. And therefore, not only the initial capital invest of the equipment is important, but also the lifetime of the equipment and the performance of the equipment over the lifetime. And these are key aspects that we are working on as Bosch to have all of these factors in hand to support our partners and customers with a reliable product that can provide a high value service over the lifetime. However, as you all might know, there are still remaining challenges, especially if we're looking at electrolyzer technology based upon PEM. So on the one hand, there are still technical challenges, validation, verification, proof of long-lasting lifetimes and performance over the lifetime. Beyond that, on a more financial or project level, there is an hesitation currently in investing into the market and making financial decisions. On the one hand, based upon signals from potentially also governmental incentives that is currently missing or unclear, but also on the other hand, investors are looking for players to partner with that have established track records, not only on the technology, but also financially, because you're investing in a product that should last for maybe 10, 15, or maybe even 20 years in the market. So you want to know that in 5 years or in 10 years, you can go back to your supplier and your supplier is still around and is bankable and trusted in the market. And lastly, as a large-scale integrator, you want to know that you have reliable access to high quality and repetitive availability of capacity. Meaning, if you have one project you want to execute this year, let's say at 100 megawatt scale, you want to know that you can go back to the same supplier for the next project next year, as well as to the same supplier in 10 years once the replacement cycle of those stacks is due. And we as Bosch really provide value tackling all of these challenges. We're using our strong R&D innovative processes to tackle the technical challenges. We're working on rapid verification testing to prove performance over the lifetime of the stacks. We use our global footprint and knowledge in industrialization to drive the technology forward and drive costs down. But lastly, and this is the most important point for us, the success of our customer is lastly our success, right? So we need to provide a product that enables our customers to be successful in the market and drive the hydrogen economy forward. With that being said, if we're taking a look now at the positioning and the partners and players that we're working with in the market. So as I said, we as Bosch have a clear focus on just the stack as a component. Bosch doesn't provide the system or system integration or plans or provide hydrogen. We are focused on the stack as a reliable building block at 1.25 megawatts of scale for decentralized and centralized applications. So we are enabling players in the market that have capabilities of building containerized solutions in the scale of 1 to potentially 10 megawatts, but also are working with plant level integrators, project developers, and EPCs that are taking the stack as a means for large scale deployments, potentially with some form of pre-integration in a modular fashion, open skids or modular deployments that can serve as a building block for larger deployments. To do this, we as Bosch are working on the scale-up of our manufacturing. We're following our lead plant approach that we have used in the automotive industry. Therefore, our initial production is currently established in our Bamberg plant in Germany. Our ambition is to ramp up to a gigawatt scale production before the end of the decade. We're using this lead plant approach to verify the processes, the quality control, as well as managing the innovation and supply chain management. And then usually we use this approach as a blueprint to roll it out into other regions and markets, for example, to North America, where we have plans to establish a local for local production of the stacks in the future to provide product here to our local customer bases. To close out, I want to revisit the value chain that we took a look at the start of the presentation. Again, from component supply into stack manufacturing system or plant level integration, and then the actual hydrogen production offtake. So I hope that it was clear that we as Bosch have a clear vision and mission to become a reliable and stable provider of stack equipment to the market. And our core focus is to work with strong and lasting partners that take our stack as a product to drive the hydrogen economy forward. Create a new means into dealing with hyperscaling demands in the future by enabling capable players from adjacent industries, for example, from the oil and gas industry, that have packaging, system integration, and or project development aspects in their company and can really help solve this gigantic challenge of ramping up production capacity as well as deploying technology in the market and standing behind products and deployments for decades to come. So I hope I showed that with our positioning and offering, we are uniquely positioned to realize underutilized market potentials to meet hyperscaling demands in the future. And with that, thank you for your interest. Please come by our booth, B04. If you go straight ahead, you find us at the end of the hall. My colleagues Shailesh, Rafa, and Dara and I are here to answer all of your questions. And again, happy to discuss partnerships or any technical details about our stack and offering and our footprint here in North America and globally. Thank you very much.